So the regime change, if it happens in Iran, is going to have major geopolitical realities in that arena. You know, when I think about the President of the United States of America, President John Donald Trump, and what he says after every event, he said when they bombed Iran, when they tried to take out their nuclear facility, said, we did it so efficiently, so effectively, in the only way that the United States of America can do it. No other nation on earth can do it like we do it. And when they did it in Caracas, he used the same rhetoric. And I'm quite certain if there was a regime change, he'll say, we told you, it is only the United States of America that is capable of doing this, and is only possible when I, Donald Trump, is the President of the United States of America. The only word that he has yet to use is to say that he is the greatest president that the United States of America has and will ever see. And it is interesting that as he wages these little wars, he still thinks that he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize, even as he wages war. So I imagine that that is going to happen, if, or rather, will or could happen if there is a regime change. He'll, of course, engage in rhetorical chest thumping that the United States of America is indeed the greatest nation on earth, which is in keeping with the rhetoric that his agenda is to make America great again. This America that was humiliated under Carter, this America that was humiliated under the Democrats' administration has now been restored to the highest pedestal, and it is doing what it should, police the world. And that is demonstrated by his own statement that the only thing that restricts him, and therefore by extension the United States of America, is his own morality. In the recent past, no leader has ever said that the only restraining thing is his own morality as judged by himself.
Americans woke up this morning and they saw that you said help is on the way.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, there's a lot of help on the way, and in different forms, including economic help from our standpoint, and not going to help Iran very much. And, you know, we put Iran out of business with their nuclear capacity, and now, depending on what's actually happening, nobody's been able to give us accurate numbers about how many people they've killed.
Well, on that
but
point,
it looks
Mr.
like
President,
it could be a pretty substantial number, and that's going to be a lot of problems for them.
a lot of problems. On that point, you did say the U.S. would get involved if Iran started killing protesters.
Yeah.
They have,
Yeah.
by the many thousands, according to reports.
Well, we'll see what that is. I've heard two numbers, but we'll see what that is.
Well, now we're hearing that they're going to start hanging protesters tomorrow. So it comes back to the question, have they crossed your red line, or has the line moved?
I haven't heard about the hanging. If they hang them, you're going to see some things that I don't know what your where you come from and what your thought process is, but you'll perhaps be very happy.
What do you mean by that?
We will take very strong action. If they do such a thing, we will take very strong action.
And this strong action you're talking about, what's the end game?
The end game is to win. I like winning.
How do you define that in Iran?
Well, let's define it in Venezuela. Let's define it with al-Baghdadi. He was wiped out. Let's define it with Soleimani. And let's define it in Iran, where he wiped out their Iran nuclear threat in a period of about 15 minutes once the B-2s got there. And that was a complete obliteration, as it turns out, which is what I said initially. Then some questioned it, and they said, you know, Trump was right. So we've been right about everything. We don't want to see what's happening in Iran happen. And, you know, if they want to have protests, that's one thing. When they start killing thousands of people, and now you're telling me about hanging, we'll see how that works out for them. It's not going to work out good.
Yes, here we are. Greeting to you all, family, brothers and sisters. Hopefully you're okay and doing well. That is Mr. Donald Trump, a new character in this movie, but the same script applied in Afghanistan, applied in Iraq, as applied in Libya, and now the same script is being applied in Iran. As you heard, Trump is considering to send troops in Iran to protect civilians. Through X account, Donald Trump has shocked the leaders of Iran after tweeting or writing a message. I will read this message. Iranian patriots, keep protesting, take over your institutions, serve the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. I have cancelled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killings of protesters stops. Help is on its way. MEGA, make Iran great again. President Donald J. Trump. That is the message written through X account by Donald Trump. Help is in its way. Which help? It means Trump will send the troops. And of course, after Venezuela, the country that is supplying oil to Russia and China is Iran. This war is not about Iran, it is not about whether Venezuela or whatever. This war is about control. What America right now want, you know, when Trump came to power, he said he want to make America great again. And to make America great again, others has to be down. And for others to be down, first of all, you have to defeat them, to neutralize them. And that's what Trump is doing. And the main competitor of America is not Europe, is China and Russia. So to counter China and Russia, you need to take control of resources, because these countries are growing through resources. If you have oil, it means you can land these submarines, equipment, and these military equipment. It needs oil. So what America wants to do is to take control of those resources. And we know very well that America has a lot of oil, but America is not using its oil, it is capturing oil of others and using it. So what America is doing right now is fighting Russia and China by taking resources. And that's why recently Trump has imposed, I think, 25 tariffs to those countries who are doing business with Iran. You see? And I'm sure America will attack Iran and take control of Iran. That's what America wants. After taking control of Iran, America will control oil of Iran. And then that oil will no longer go to China, will not go to Russia. Of course, Russia has its own oil, but they want to counter China. They know very well that right now Russia is at war. They have put sanctions to Russia so that Russia cannot get money. But they see that there are some countries that are still working with Russia. Those countries like Venezuela, Iran, so South Africa. That's why you see all these countries that are friendly of Russia, they have trouble with America. They're in trouble with America. So my fear is how Iran will respond, because already Iran has declared that if US will attack Iran, Iran will respond by attacking all bases of US. And we know US has base in Africa. So if Iran will decide to attack those bases in Africa, we have base, US base in Kenya, US base in Botswana. Is Botswana safe? Is Kenya safe? Is Congo safe? Is Africa in general safe? Okay, what if even Russia will join that battle? Because these are BRICS countries. What if they will join this battle? We Africa, are we safe? So that's why I'm here to share my thoughts on this matter and how this matter is affecting all of us. It's not about Iran, it's not about the US. let us look in African ways. How we Africans, we are going to be affected. You remember when the war in Ukraine, you remember Africa, we suffered hunger. Say there's no fertilizer, grain. We are dying because of war in Ukraine. So what about the price of the oil? Because we know very well that we Africa, despite we have our own oil, but we are not refining our oil. We are exporting crude oil. We are not producing our own oil for our motors, other things. We are importing oil. So how Africa will be affected? So economically will be affected. Also, in terms of security, will be affected because we don't have power to resist or to protect those missiles from Iran. We don't have those power. So according to what I see, this is the war between Russia, China, and the United States of America. Because America has already declared that, of course, Trump, not America, Trump has said he wants to make America great again. It means America to be above all countries. We know China is the main competitor of US by industries or economically. Russia is the main competitor of US militarily because Russia has a lot of nuclear weapons and different kind of missile and technology in military. So US is fighting all these two countries. Even what you see between Russia and Ukraine is to weakening Russia. So Russia is fighting with Ukraine. So America is watching and waiting to see where the opportunity when Russia looks tired, America will jump in. And that's why they started by putting sanctions. Right now, all countries that are doing business with Russia, some of them facing sanctions. South Africa, you remember what happened between US and South Africa. Look what happened in Venezuela. So all those countries that are doing business with China and Russia will face sanctions. US will not confront China direct. US will not go into live confrontation with China and Russia. What US right now is doing is to start with these like roots. You know, if you want to remove the tree, instead of cutting the tree is harassment. So you may remove roots and the tree will remain standing, but after removing those roots, after a certain time, the tree will fall down. That's what US is doing. Is removing roots of the tree, is defeating these countries or small countries that are supporting Russia and China. And that's why you see right now South Africa is at a blacklist. These countries of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, they're being destabilized. Venezuela, it was supplying oil to China, already captured. Now, the country that remain out of control is Iran. So, US is confronting Iran. After capturing Iran, they will put new leader who will listen what US is saying. If US will say stop selling oil to China, they will stop it. That's what they want. So this is economic war. It's not about protesters. It is not about people who are demonstrating and protesting in Iran, it's about economy. So we as Africans, we need to be prepared. We need to be vigilant. You know, one thing that makes me fear the most is what if Iran will respond by attacking US bases? Because Iran has already declared that if US will attack Iran, Iran will attack US bases. And we know that in Africa there are US bases. So if Iran will attack those bases, we Africa, are we safe? Or Africa will be taken into the war? And of course, that's what US is looking for. Africa will fight the war of Iran and the US. Because we know we have base in Kenya, in Djibouti, in Botswana. Assume today Iran has sent a missile to Botswana. Will Botswana's defense force keeping silent? Or they will respond? And how they will respond? So US will say, let us go and fight. I will help you to fight these people that have attacked you. The story will change. It's not about US and Iran. The story will be Iran has attacked a sovereign state. So the entire world will turn against Iran because Iran has attacked and provoked sovereignty. That's what will happen. So as Africans, if we are not careful, we are going to fight the battle of others. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have different understanding, but that's what I see. That this war will include Africa, and Africa will fight this battle for US. And this brings me to remember the word of Bob Marley, Buffalo Soldier. Stolen from Africa, go to America, fight on your life or fight for survival. That's what will happen. Africa will fight Iran because of US. And Africa will help US to take over Iran. That's what will happen. Take this from me. So the only way maybe is for Africans to know this and to come together. I'm not sure if Africans, especially our leaders, see this coming. But according to what I see, Africa will fight the battle with Iran to help. And from there, US will recognize what kind of missile Iran has and how US can protect those from those missiles. That's what will happen. So, family, brothers and sisters, US want to control the world. Trump wants to make America great again. And that's why recently you saw Donald Trump put his image as an acting president of Venezuela. It has shocked the world, but that's the reality. No one can change it. Trump is the president of Venezuela. And also Trump will be the president of Iran if Iran fall. So, family, brothers and sisters, Black winter is coming.
Once again, greetings everyone. It's another time and another day we meet in your lovely channel. And hopeful we're very fine. I'm very fine too. And I'm here in front of you today to share with you some information that are going on in this world. We see that the president of USA, the President Donald Trump, has declared himself acting as the president of the Venezuela in viral post. It means that most of the posts which have gone very viral. The president of USA, Donald Trump, has declared himself that he is going to Lolo. He is the president, or he is acting as the president of Venezuela this time. A controversial social medias, yes, post by USA President Donald Trump has sparked fresh debates and confusion across the internal political circle. The President Donald Trump, the President of USA, showed or shared an image of his social media platform, Truth Social, portraying himself as acting president of the Venezuela. Mean that these social medias have been portraying the president of USA, President Donald Trump, acting as the president of Venezuela. This is just Trump, this is just a sign, this happened after the Donald Trump, president of USA, to sign an executive order declaring a national emergency to protect Venezuela oil revenue, building in USA treasure accounts from legal attachments or judiciary. Means that the president of USA, Donald Trump, has signed an order or an executive order to declaring a national emergency from USA to protect the oil revenue built in US. And the president of USA, Donald Trump, has said that these funds were termed as foreign goods or foreign revenue deposit funds are to remain frozen unless specifically unauthorized under the new order. It says that oil funds are sovereign property of the Venezuela held in U.S. cadastry for governmental and diplomatic purpose and cannot be claimed by private parties. These are some words that are from USA. In this year, January 10, this month we are now, January 10, just a few days ago, 2026, security uttered the embassy returned the long-standing travel warning dating back to 2019, when the USA fully withdrew diplomatic personnel from its Caracas commission and suspended all consuls supports. And also in this month again, on 3rd this month, the US military launched an operation as the results led to abduction of the president Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores. Mean that this month there are many things that have happened, but on 3rd, the 3rd day after New Year, from one day after receiving, or the 3rd day after receiving a New Year 2026. So now it's 3rd January 2026 this year. There's US military operation that's happened there in Venezuela. And this military operation led to abduction of the president of Venezuela. Led to abduction. The president was abducted by the military from USA together with his wife, Celia Flores. Following this capture, the vice president of Venezuela, was warned an acting president by the National Assembly denouncing the operation as kidnapping and violation of sovereignty. Mean that the vice president did not remain silent. He said that the adoption or the operation, it was as kidnapping and violation of the sovereignty. Now, just assume the president is adopted, is kidnapped by the president of another nation. Is it fair? Actually, it is not fair, because he is the president. Yes, he's the president, though maybe there are some mistakes he has done, but still he's the president, and the nation has to stand by its own. But we see the USA President Donald Trump has sent a military operation in Venezuela. At the end, there is kidnapping of the president of the Venezuela together with his wife, Celia Serfo. Also on 5th January this year, both Maduro together with his wife pleaded not guilty in Manhattan federal courts. President Trump stated shortly after the raid that USA would run the country. USA would run the country of Venezuela. This is a statement from the president of USA. Mean that the president Donald Trump has clearly has announced it to the public that USA is going to run or is going to rule the country of Venezuela. Just assume a country or a president from another country clearly declaring to control or to run another country means one president is going to rule 2 countries. It's something wonderful, and once you sit down and think, it's like there is something going on here between. Why one president ruling 2 countries? It's something that matters or gives a lot of questions to the mind. But that is what the president of USA has said. And within days, or after a few days, after the president Donald Trump saying that USA would land the country, the administration began organizing meeting with USA oil and gas executive to discuss Republic of Venezuela energy sector. Just assume. Mean that the administration meet the leaders from Venezuela. We are moving now from their country to USA, start discussing about the oil, or about the oil, yes, or about the energy sector in general in Venezuela. Now, is it coming to the mind that the president or the leaders from another nation moving to another nation to discuss? Is it coming? By the way, it's like there is colonization between. How comes a president from one president controlling 2 countries at once? It's not coming, by the way, and it is not fair. So this shows how powerful countries tends to colonize dialect. Now this is dialect colonization, because we are living in neo-colonization or neo-colonialism in short, that there is our own president, there is our own government, but the instructions are not from our presidents or our government, are from the giant nations. Now, the president of USA has clearly announcing the colonization of Venezuela, because this is very wonderful and is very, 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 I've never seen before that the one president controlling two countries. No, but this is what has happened now. So this is a message that I can say, let's tend to unite, or let's unite as Africans. Now this message goes direct, because this Venezuela, I can say, is a country, yeah, but is somehow developed compared to other nations of Africa. So just assume a somehow developed nation is being controlled by developed nation. How about we, who we are still in, or we are still in poverty? How about we? Once they come, will they come by capturing the president, or just to come and colonize direct? So this is a message to us that we should work hard, we should stand, and we should make one thing that is great, because through unity is where the strengths come, or is where the confidence come. Or let's take an example of one country, or an example of one alliance, or some countries which are very united, and these countries, things like this capturing of leaders will never, or we won't hear that the president of this country has been captured. Let's take a country like Burkina Faso. Yeah, let's take it, Burkina Faso, and Ibrahim Traore. Is it true, or is it coming that one day we'll hear that the president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore, has been captured or has been taken away? Never. The country is very strong. First, the man is very strong. He is focusing on people's interests. He is very serious. So it means that we should take him as an example first. Other presidents should be like him, very strict, very serious, very focusing. At the end, once all African leaders be like that, first development will be there. After development, there is something you can say, first like that, yeah, development will be there first. Then after development, respect, because now a country like Burkina Faso is very respected because it has a president that is very strong, that is very focusing, and he is loved by the people because what he does is seen by the people. I can say as few days ago has completed to build the road 42 kilometers. So we see development under his leadership. So this is how other leaders should be. First, once we be like him, things are going to be better. So also, once we be like that, or once we be like him, things like this never happen. A strong leader to be captured, never, not here like that. So this is the time, or this is the message to other leaders, that leaders should be strong, should be serious, and should focus. Yes, because but it's not that the president of Venezuela was not strong. No, he is strong, but what has happened is like that. But the leaders should be should be more strong, should be more strict, should be serious on what they are doing. At the end, there is something called development is going to be there. Also, respect is going to be there. So actually, this message goes to all, and this should be a lesson to other leaders, that there should be strong, and we see this has happened in Venezuela. So the leaders should learn, oh wow, there is something like this. So should they make themselves more strict, more protected, so as to defend themselves, so as to move from this era of neocolonialism. Lastly, once you like this video, don't forget to like, to subscribe, and give out your comments. War notes, don't forget to share this video to all Africans who are present and those who are abroad from Africa. Thanks.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.